We're here to present this report to you on our development results over the last 2 years. I think that we believe that we can help by sharing this information with you to illustrate how decent work and the decent work agenda is a development agenda, and how ILO principles can and must be translated into action in the realities of national contexts. The scope of the report that we're putting to you, well, it's a report about development cooperation, of course, but it's not just about the mechanics of development cooperation. It's also focusing upon integrated resource management, the way we are seeking to diversify our funding sources and partnerships. And these are partnerships, of course, that are not limited simply to funding issues. There's much more substance to it than that. Ladies and gentlemen, the activities and developments recorded in the report do not take place in a vacuum. This report is published at a time of major change in international development cooperation. Greater coherence between UN agencies and other development actors is being promoted and has resulted in new ways of working and greater joint policy making in a one UN framework. This context gives us the opportunity to promote the decent work agenda as a basic part of the common development cooperation process. It's one of our objectives to make sure that the voice of the world of work actors, and that means the tripartite voice of governments, employers and workers, is heard in this context. And that, let's be honest, poses us with challenges on some occasions, but challenges that we are determined to take up successfully. We're working extremely hard to ensure that decent work and social protection figures centrally and explicitly as an objective within the post-2015 arrangements, which would, of course, provide the background to further development of the issues set out in the report. Let me say that ultimately, while there may be a more diversified nature and base of partnerships, it's important to stress that in many countries, employers and workers' organisations and indeed ministries still need support that require resources that go beyond what we're able to provide from our existing funding. Even when we're more efficient, even when we are prioritised, I think there are inevitably some unmet needs, and we have to look at how we close those funding gaps. There are very important issues for the ILO, and they're not new ones, where I see real need to mobilise greater financial support. I think of our great successes in the field of child labour over a period of decades, which has illustrated that we today know what we need to do to eliminate child labour, but run the risk of coming up against funding bottlenecks in order to do what it takes. I hope we can reverse that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude that by saying that I think it is axiomatic that the ILO has really extraordinary opportunities ahead. Some of the key political challenges of our times are challenges which lie centrally at the core of the ILO's mandate and where we have central responsibilities. We have to pick up these challenges. We have to be equal to the circumstances in which we work. So let me assure you from this side of the table, as it were, of the commitment of our organisation to work hard to improve our performance, and we will benefit immensely in those efforts from your contributions. I don't just mean your financial contributions, but your advice, your criticism and your guidance.